Hello everyone, I am Snehal Sawan, BE IT student, and I am here to present my IoT based home automation project which was completed under the guidance of Emertxe. So the contents which we are going to see in this PPT are Internet of Things, examples of IoT, IoT architecture, embedded system, and languages are C, C++, embedded C, then Arduino Uno board, and lastly the project on home automation. So, our Internet of Things. What is IoT? Internet of Things. Definition of IoT is the network of physical objects that contain embedded technology to communicate and interact with their internal states or external environment. Examples of IoT. IoT is used in smart cities, smart factories, data driven healthcare, artificial intelligence, edge computing, smart retail, fitness, and telecommunication. Now we will see IoT architecture. The IoT architecture is composed of three parts. First is device connectivity. That means it is IP capable and can connect to internet can connect to cloud. Then second is data processing or analysis. This is IoT solution of cloud, and the last is presentation, means the final business connectivity, and this is the mobile app where actions are taken. Next, we will see embedded system. Embedded system is the combination of hardware and software. So, the definition is any combination of hardware and software which is intended to do a specific task can be called as an embedded system. Few examples of embedded system are digital camera, digital wristwatches, MP3 players, applications such as refrigerator, washing machine, and microwaves, temperature measurement system, calculators, etc. Moving further with programming languages, first we will see C language. C language is used in system development, embedded software development, OS kernel development, firmware, and middleware. Firmware is a software that is attached to a hardware for the interface between hardware and software. Middleware is the interface between OS and applications. From the C language, we can understand very well the algorithms. Means algorithms can be understood in simple way by using C language. In the C language sessions from the Emertxe internship, we learned the fundamental elements of the C language. Uh, the data types in C languages are uh, ca- which is used for character, it is 1 byte, int integer for which is of 4 bit, uh, float is of 4 byte, and double is of 8 byte. Modifiers are signed and unsigned. Signed values decides whether the integral data is capable of holding both positive or negative values, and unsigned have only positive values. Moving further with conditional statements and loops used in C, first is if else statement. In this, we see whether the condition is true or false. Next is switch case. The expression given in the switch case can be integer or character. Then moving further with loops, the first is while loop. In while loop, condition is evaluated before processing the body of the loop. Next is do while loop. Do while loop is similar like while loop, but in some cases we have to execute the body at least once even if the condition is false. This type of operation is possible in do while loop. It in this do will be executed first. Next is for loop. In for loop we have the initial value, condition, and incrementation or decrementation condition, and in this a condition it can be a boolean expression. Moving further with CPP language, Uh, C++ is a cross-platform language that can be used to create high-performance applications. Programmers a high level of control over the system resources and memory. It can be used to develop operating system, browser, games, and so on. C++ supports different ways of programming like procedural, object-oriented, functional, and so on. This makes C++ powerful as well as flexible. Next language is embedded language, which we are going to use in the project. Embedded C is the most popular language programming language in software field for developing electronic gadgets. Each processor used in electronic system is associated with embedded software. Embedded C programming plays a key role in performing specific function by the processor. In day-to-day life, we used many electronic devices such as mobile phone, washing machine, digital camera, etc. These all device working is these all devices working is based on microcontroller that are programmed by embedded C. Now we will see what is Arduino Uno board. Arduino Uno board is an open source controller board. It is based on microchip at Mega 328P microcontroller. It is easy to use. Arduino Uno board consists of 6 analog pins, 14 digital pins, USB connector, a power jack, and an ICSP, which is in circuit serial programming, and programmed used is on Arduino IDE. This is the Arduino Uno board. Now we will start our project. Project is on home automation. Home automation should be simulated on the PiximLab simulator as we are on online internship, so we are using online softwares such as PiximLab simulator, Blink IoT mobile application used to control the devices. IoT app is a mobile application which is used to control the devices. And in home automation, we should able to control the lights, temperature of the home, inflow and outflow of water in the water tank. The tools required for implementation of this project is LED, CLCD, temperature system, serial tank, Ethernet shield, LDR, and Blink IoT app. So now moving further, we will see the function used for execution of project and their syntax. So the functions used on LED are pin mode, delay, digital write, and digital read. So pin mode configures the specified pin to behave either an input or an output. Delay pauses the program for the amount of time specified as a parameter. In digital write a high or a low value to a digital pin. Digital read reads the value from a specified digital pin, either high or low. A function used on CLCD are liquid crystal I2C and set cursor. Liquid crystal I2C function sets the LCD address and number of display lines and characters in the line. Set cursor has columns and rows. It sets the cursor at a particular position. The functions used on analog inputs are analog read and analog write. Analog read function reads the value from the specified analog pin. Analog read reads an analog value, that is a PWM wave, to a pin. It can be used to light a LED at varying brightness or drive a motor at various speeds. The following functions are used for serial tanks are se- serial begin, serial write, and serial read. So serial begin function sets the data rate in bytes per second for serial data transmission. Serial write function writes binary data to the serial port. This data is sent as a byte or series of bytes to send the characters representing the digits of a number used to print function instead. Serial read function reads incoming serial data. Read function inherits from the stream utility class. Below functions are used for Blink app. Blink write. Blink write is a function called every time device gets an update of virtual pin value from the server. Pa- param as init to this function is used to interpret incoming data as integers, floats, doubles, and strings. Next is blink.virtualWrite. This function sends data in various formats to virtual pins. And the last is timer.setInterval. This function calls the functions after every particular period of time. Functional requirements of projects are: the first requirement is garden light control. Our aim is to control the garden light based on the availability of sunlight during the daytime. The sunlight will be more, so we need to turn off the garden light, and during sunset it gets darker. Now we need to turn off the garden lights to sense the lights sunlight. We are going to use LDR sensor. The data from LDR sensor is sent to Arduino, which then sends the required control signals to control the garden lights. Next, the second requirement is to control temperature system of our home. The temperature control system consists of a heating resistor, a temperature sensor, and a cooler, which resembles temperature control system at our home. The process is to read the temperature continuously from the temperature sensor and display it on the CLCD. We will be using heater and cooler for controlling the temperature. Temperature sensor is used as an input to send the temperature details of our home to the Arduino. Then based on the values we are going to use heater and controller accordingly. We have to create cooler pin, heater pin, and temperature widgets on IoT app for controlling temperature using the app. For cooler, if the button widget is at logic high, turn on the cooler, and if the button widget is at logic low, then turn off the cooler. Similarly, for heater control, if the button widget is at high, turn on the heater, and if the button widget is at logic low, then turn off the heater. Lastly, we have to control the volume of water in the water tank by turning on and off the inlet and outlet valves of the water tank, reading the values of water level through serial communication, and displaying it on the CLCD. Firstly, we are going to read the volume of water in the water tank. This can be done by sending the commands through serial communication and fetching the data of the water and displaying it on CLCD. After obtaining the data from the serial tank, then we have to control the inlet valve. In inlet valve, if the button widget is at high, then turn on the inlet valve by sending commands through the serial communication. And if the button widget is at logic low, turn off the inlet valve by sending commands through serial communication. Similarly, for outlet valve control, if the button widget is at high, turn on the outlet valve, and if the button widget is at low, then turn off the outlet valve. And the last is control the volume of water in the tank. In this, the input given is read the volume of the water in the tank by sending commands to the serial communication, and the output is when the if the water in the tank is less than 2000 liters, turn on the inlet valve and send notification to the Blink mobile app by displaying same on the CLCD. Moving further with Blink application. In this application, we have to create template and virtual pins assigning the selected data streams and then add widget to the data streams. All this interfacing is done by using Blink Cloud. Project demo video. Our first requirement is to control the brightness of garden light. The brightness of LED varies according to the value of LDR sensor, which resembles the controlling of garden lights based on the availability of sunlight. Here we can see the brightness of LED decreases when more light falls on the LDR sensor, and brightness of LED increases when less light falls on the LDR sensor. Now our second requirement is to control the temperature system of our home. So when the heater is turned on, the temperature starts increasing and the value is displayed on the CLCD and Blink IoT app. When it reaches the threshold value of 35 degrees Celsius, the temperature turns off automatically and sends notification to the Blink IoT app. When the cooler turns on, the temperature falls rapidly and back to its normal room temperature value. This is our second requirement. It consists of heating resistor and LM35 temperature sensor and cooler. Here temperature is displayed on visual and CLCD. Now last requirement is serial remote tank control. When we connect our serial tank to Pixel Lab, then the volume of the water in the serial tank starts increasing automatically. Here the serial tank resembles the actual water tank in our home. Then the volume of the water reaches 3000 liters. Then inlet valve turns off automatically and send notification to the Blink IoT app. Then we turn on the outlet valve. When we turn on the outlet valve, the volume of water starts decreasing. As soon as it is below 2000 liters, the inlet valve turns on and sends notification to the Blink IoT app. If we turn off the outlet valve, then the volume starts increasing again. Thank you.